Hey, it's Teresa with My Lice Advice, and today I'm answering the question, what are nits? Before getting started, just so you know who I am, my name's Teresa with myliceadvice.com, and I'm a registered nurse, and I actually specialize in head lice. So if you've discovered lice, don't freak out. Just go to myliceadvice.com. I have step-by-step videos. I'll walk you through how to get rid of it. Okay, so let's talk about nits. What are nits? If you've watched any of my other video tutorials, you'll hear me often use the word nits and the word lice eggs interchangeably. And that's because they are pretty much the same thing, except for with one pretty big difference. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Lice bugs lay little tiny eggs inside of the hair. This is part of their way of procreating. So these little tiny lice eggs in the hair each have one little bug inside of them. And eventually that little lice egg will hatch, and the little bug that's inside of it is gonna come out and reinfest your hair. That's why it's so hard to get rid of lice, because these lice eggs are so tiny and hard to see. Now, the telltale sign of something being a lice egg is that it's going to be glued onto the hair strand. And when I say glued, I mean female lice bugs actually create a glue that they glue these eggs directly onto a hair strand. So there's no way for you to just wash it out of the hair, or like when you're brushing, they're not gonna come out of the hair. So what you'll have to do in order to get this out of the hair is pinch it between two fingers and drag it all the way down the hair strand. Now, when lice eggs are first laid in the hair, they're typically a light golden color. But the longer they're in the hair and the closer they get to hatching, the darker the lice egg is going to be. So at first, they're going to be kind of this lighter golden color. Then they turn into a light brown and a dark brown, or like a two-toned color. But eventually they turn almost black. And at this black point, that means that there's a bug in there that's so big that it's taking up most of the lice egg. And after they turn this very dark color, that's when they actually hatch. Okay, now these baby lice bugs are so tiny, you usually don't see them when they first hatch. Now, to explain what nits are, it's the end stage of these lice eggs. Once the bug actually leaves, all you're left with is an old shell. And this shell in the hair, you can think of just like any other egg. When you crack an egg and you take out everything from the inside of it, all you're left with is this kind of white shell. And that's what nits are. Nits are this white shell that's left over after the lice bug has already left that egg. So you can think of nits as lice eggs that have already hatched. Now, the other thing that you'll notice about nits is that you're going to find them further down the hair strand. This girl has had lice for a very long time, over a year. And all of these white nits here, those are all old hatched lice eggs. That's why they're way down here at the end of the hair strand. Her hair has actually grown that much while she's had lice. Whereas if you look up really close to the scalp here, do you see these darker lice eggs here? They're brown. Those are lice eggs that still have a bug inside. These are the ones that are gonna hatch and reinfest this girl's hair. Whereas these white nits that are further down the hair strand, those have already hatched. Now, a lot of people will try to get all of these lice eggs out and nits out by nitpicking. And what nitpicking is when you pinch an egg in between two fingers and you try and pull it all the way down the hair strand. Now, nitpicking is not a very effective way of getting rid of these lice eggs. But I know a lot of people are desperate to do that because they try all of those lice combs and things like that that come in kits, and those don't work either. One thing that you should be aware of is that lice have actually grown immune to lice kits and home remedies that used to work in the past. So when it comes to these nits, I don't recommend that you get an over-the-counter lice kit. They don't work well. People usually struggle with lice for a very, very long time because lice are immune to them. And it doesn't do anything to get rid of these lice eggs. The other thing I don't recommend is doing a bunch of nitpicking because it takes hours, days, weeks to do, and usually people miss a lot of these lice eggs. That's why I created my step-by-step video system on my website, myliceadvice.com. In that video system, I'll walk you through just exactly how to kill all of the lice bugs and how to get every single one of these lice eggs out of the hair so that you can get rid of lice permanently. Also on my website, you'll find tons of free resources there, including a free house cleaning checklist that is specific to getting rid of head lice. So that's it for today. Be sure to like and subscribe below. And if you have a comment, feel free to leave a comment. And if you have discovered lice, then head over there and check out that step-by-step video system. I'll see you there.